Hello, my friends. Welcome back to StoryPath English. Please find a comfortable place to sit. Imagine we are sitting together by a warm, glowing campfire. The stars are bright above us, and the air is soft and still. Today, I want to tell you a story about a man who saw the world differently than anyone else. He saw swirls in the night sky. He saw fire in the sunflowers. He saw magic in the simplest pair of old shoes. But during his life, almost no one wanted his art. He was lonely, he was poor, he was often sad. Today, his paintings are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But when he died, he thought he was a failure. This is the story of Vincent van Gogh and the secret, beautiful, and tragic dream of a place called the Yellow House. Stay with me, and if you enjoy stories that touch the heart, please subscribe to hear more. Our story begins in a small village in the Netherlands in 1853. A boy was born into a quiet, religious family. His name was Vincent. But there was something strange about his name. Exactly 1 year before he was born, his parents had another baby boy. That baby died. His name was also Vincent. Every Sunday, young Vincent walked to church and passed a small grave with his own name carved on it. Can you imagine that? Looking at your own name on a tombstone when you are just a child? Vincent grew up feeling like a ghost. He felt like he was a replacement for a brother he never knew. He was a quiet, lonely boy who wandered through the fields, looking at flowers and birds, searching for a place where he belonged. As Vincent grew into a young man, he tried many jobs. He worked in an art gallery, but he was too honest and made the customers angry. He tried to be a teacher, but he was too restless. Then he decided to become a preacher, just like his father. He went to a poor coal mining district in Belgium. The people there were dirty, tired, and hungry. Vincent wanted to be like them. He gave away his clothes. He gave away his bed. He slept on the floor and ate only bread. He wanted to show them the love of God. But the church leaders did not like this. They thought he was too extreme. They told him he was not a good preacher. They sent him away. Vincent was heartbroken. He was nearly 30 years old, and he had failed at everything. He had no money, no home, and no future. But in this dark time, he picked up a pencil. He began to draw the coal miners. He drew their tired faces and their large working hands. He realized that while he could not speak to people with words, he could speak to them through lines and shadows. He wrote to his younger brother, Theo. "Theo," he said, "I have found my path. I am an artist." Theo was the only person who believed in him. For the rest of Vincent's life, Theo sent him money every month so he could buy paint and bread. Without Theo, the world would never have known Vincent van Gogh. Their love was the foundation of everything Vincent created. In 1886, Vincent moved to Paris. Paris was a city of light and color. He met other artists who were doing something new. They didn't want to paint realistic pictures. They wanted to paint feelings. Vincent's art changed. His paintings became brighter. He stopped using dark browns and started using blues, reds, and oranges. But Paris was too loud and too fast for him. He started to feel sick. He wanted a place with more sun. He wanted a place where he could build a home for artists. In 1888, Vincent took a train to the south of France, to a small town called Arles. When he stepped off the train, he saw the sun shining on the yellow fields. He felt like he had found paradise. He found a small house on a corner. It was painted a bright, happy yellow. Vincent called it the Yellow House. This house was his big dream. He wanted it to be a studio of the South, a place where artists could live together, work together, and support each other. He spent months fixing it up. He bought simple wooden furniture. He painted the walls with pictures of sunflowers. Have you ever had a dream that you worked for with all your heart? Vincent was so excited, he invited another artist to stay with him. His name was Paul Gauguin. Vincent admired Gauguin very much. While he waited for Gauguin to arrive, Vincent painted like a man on fire. He painted the wheat fields under the hot sun. He painted the stars over the river. He painted his own bedroom. He wanted the house to be perfect for his friend. He wanted to show Gauguin that they could change the world of art together. In October 1888, Gauguin finally arrived. At first, it was wonderful. They painted side by side. They talked about art until late at night. They drank coffee and shared ideas. But soon, the air in the yellow house became heavy. Vincent and Gauguin were very different. Vincent was emotional and loud. Gauguin was cold and arrogant. They began to argue. They argued about how to paint. They argued about who was the better artist. The weather turned cold and rainy, and the two men were trapped inside the small yellow house. Vincent started to feel the darkness coming back. He was terrified that Gauguin would leave him. He was terrified of being alone again. The tension grew and grew until 2 days before Christmas. They had a terrible fight. Gauguin walked out of the house. Vincent was in a state of madness. He picked up a razor. In a moment of deep pain and confusion, he cut off a piece of his own left ear. He wrapped it in paper and gave it to a woman at a nearby house. Then he went home to the yellow house and fell asleep, bleeding. The next morning, the police found him. Gauguin left Arles and never saw Vincent again. The dream of the yellow house was dead. The people of the town were scared of Vincent. They called him the red-headed madman. They signed a letter saying he should be sent away. Vincent was deeply hurt. The people he wanted to love and paint saw him as a monster. He decided to go to a hospital for sick people, an asylum in Saint-Rémy. He had a small room with bars on the window. But even there, he did not stop painting. When he couldn't go outside, he painted what he saw through the bars. One night, he looked out at the sky. He saw the stars dancing. He saw the moon glowing like a fire. He painted The Starry Night. It is now one of the most famous paintings in the world. He didn't paint the sky as it looked. He painted it as it times felt. He painted the energy of the universe. In his letters to Theo, Vincent said, "I put my heart and my soul into my work, and I have lost my mind in the process." He felt that he had so much love inside him. But the world didn't want it. Have you ever felt that way? Like you have a giant fire in your heart, but no one comes to warm themselves by it? In 1890, Vincent moved to a small village near Paris called Auvers-sur-Oise. He was under the care of a doctor who loved art. In just 70 days, Vincent painted 70 pictures. He painted the church, the gardens, and the vast wheat fields. But the sadness was too heavy. He felt he was a burden to his brother Theo, who now had a wife and a new baby. Vincent was worried about money. He was worried about his health. He felt that his life was a failure. On a warm July afternoon, Vincent walked into a wheat field. He carried a gun. He shot himself in the chest. He didn't die right away. He crawled back to his small room at the inn. Theo rushed to be with him. For 2 days, the brothers sat together. Vincent smoked his pipe and talked quietly. He told Theo, "The sadness will last forever." On the 29th of July 1890, Vincent died in his brother's arms. He was only 37 years old. Theo was crushed. His grief was so big that he became sick himself. He died just 6 months later. Today, the two brothers are buried side by side in the village of Auvers, under a blanket of green ivy. They were together in life, and they are together in eternity. For many years, the world forgot about Vincent, but Theo's wife, Johanna, did not forget. She had hundreds of Vincent's paintings in her house. She had all the letters Vincent wrote to Theo. She realized that the world needed to see this art. She organized exhibitions. She published the letters. Slowly, the world began to wake up. They saw the colors. They saw the passion. They saw that this madman was actually a genius of love. Today, millions of people travel to museums to see Vincent's work. They wait in long lines to see the yellow house, the sunflowers, and the starry night. They don't just see a painting, they see a man who looked at a dark world and chose to paint it with the brightest colors he could find. Vincent van Gogh's story teaches us something very important. It teaches us that success is not about how much money you make or how many people know your name while you are alive. True success is staying true to your vision, even when it is hard. It is about sharing your light, even when the world feels dark. Vincent had a secret. He believed that art could heal the world. He believed that even a simple chair or a bunch of yellow flowers could be a message of hope. From the quiet fields of the Netherlands to the bright sun of the Arles, Vincent walked a lonely road. But he did not walk it in vain. Every time you look at a beautiful sunset and feel a swirl of emotion, or every time you see a bright yellow flower and feel a spark of joy, Vincent is there with you. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to StoryPath English. We have so many more stories to share with you, stories that help you learn English and stories that help you understand the human soul. Tell me in the comments, what is your favorite color? When you look at the stars at night, what do you see? I love hearing from you, my friends. Our campfire is burning low now. The embers are a soft, glowing red. The night is quiet. As you go to sleep tonight, remember the boy who looked at his own name on a grave and decided to make that name live forever. Remember that you too have a unique light inside you. Don't be afraid to shine. Sleep well, and I will see you on our next journey down the story path. Good night.